Today I thought maybe we'll start something a little bit new to the channel. A recap of what I watched last month, um, in general. And I thought just to give my honest opinions and some brutal logic as well that people may not like. But yeah, let's start off with Baghead, not Banghead, Baghead. This one for me was a good. It was a good movie, but an underwhelming ending to me. I was disappointed. Um, but it's a nice horror to watch through. Um, yeah, and it's basically a young woman. Like I said, it tells you that, so, young woman enters a pub, and there's a dark secret. And when they find out what it is, it's fun. When it starts, it's fun and everything, but I just think the ending was underwhelming, and I was kind of disappointed. But yeah, I think a lot of people would still like this movie as a recommendation. So yeah, so the next movie, this is gonna be a brutal, honest one for people because they are shitting on this movie. Kung Fu Panda 4. Now, I don't think it's the best one out of them all, but certainly it's not the worst. I think a lot of people are just pure hating on this movie just due to the fact that they don't understand the movie. If you understand, basically, Paul is trapped in the spirit leader world, and he has to find someone to basically take over. And there's this new character, and it's focused on this new character, and people are crying because the famous five wasn't in. But if you understand the story of what it was going by, you know there was a Kung Fu Panda 5. And maybe the last ever one. Because, deep down, this one was all about. And they told you in the interview as well. They want to focus on a new character, to bring a new character into it. To make more enlightenment. And I just think people don't see that and they gaslight the situation. I've made a video about all of these, just to remind you, all the reviews are on my channel if you want to look through them as well. Now, the ending, the villain on this was probably the best villain. And they bring all the villains, spoiler, they bring all the villains back. And he wants to take all the powers and stuff. I think it was really good. I really think it was really good. And when we do get a number 5, you might understand more why, the new character was played into this. Because if you look at the credits, you see I don't know if you call it the famous 5 or I forgot what you call it. I think it's the famous 5. In the end, and it shows you the new character, without not spoiling it, training with them and testing how powerful she is as well. And I think she's a really good part, and I cannot wait for Kung Fu Panda 5. It's not confirmed, but you can tell if you understand the story. I'm not saying you're going to like the movie, but I just think the reason why he's shitting on it because he's saying it's underwhelming. No, you're just coming off as narcissistic and not understanding and just want to pure hate on a movie like you do with a lot of others. And the hate, I've looked at the comments and it doesn't make sense. They just say it's underwhelming. I don't think it was an underwhelming movie. I think it was a nice pacing movie. I think it was nice how they brought a new character in. And if you look at the credits, ending credits scene, you can see, that they bring in a number 5 with all these characters in. And who knows what the villain will be? Probably the hardest villain of all. And they might make it kind of an Avengers situation. I'm hoping they do something like that. But let's just not get ahead of ourselves. But this movie, like I said, I think it's a more better rating. I think it should be an 8 to 9. I really enjoyed this. I don't care what anybody says. I really enjoyed this movie. So anyway, let's get in. I watched Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. I did get early access, the videos up about it. I really appreciate the support on that video. This one kinda was interesting. Was it better than the first? The plot story was. But there's another part of the story that's unnecessary to be in. I just don't think it needed to be in because this was a fun, don't take it serious movie, you know. There was gore in it and stuff like that, but the ending itself, yeah, it was pretty interesting. Movie. I think it's a pretty interesting movie. Do I think could have been better? Oh yeah. And I hope if they go on this route, you're going to see some great movies from Disney characters that was Disney characters, let's just say that. Next one. Oh my God. Watch my review. Watch my review on that. It's on the channel. I go on a huge rant. And I just get brutal with this. It's a comedy. I wasn't laughing at this. I'm so disappointed in Justin Smith because he was in Detective Pikachu and that. And every time I'm going to see him now, I'm just going to make a parody and comedy shit. Bullshit. Because this was an utter bullshit movie. I went to see this blinded. So it made it worse for me as well. So basically it's kind of a like love triangle and this magical powers it is to make white people more comfortable. Yeah, it's not a very good movie, and even if you take the racist stuff out, it's still a bad movie because this love triangle situation was god awful. Is a white person that gets so angry and he's saying he's angry, calm him down, and he wants to focus on the girl because he really likes the girl so much, but she's different as well. And I would not recommend watching this movie. It is god awful. It's like I took a bullet for you guys with this one. I would not recommend this movie. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, I watched that. I just think there's a lot of filter. Was it a bad movie? No. Was it better than Afterlife? Yes. Was it great? No. I think this could have been a lot better. There was just so many fucking characters in this movie that you couldn't catch up, you couldn't invest. It was just exhaustion, you know. And then when it got to the end about the new monster that looks really badass, really well, I just think it was underwhelming because the battle was on probably less than 15 minutes. And I'm like, I think it should have been on longer than that, you know, and some devastating scenes. But is it worth to watch if you're a Ghostbusters fan? Yeah, if you watch the classics, you'll understand. You know, me, I don't think this was one of them I wouldn't go back to, though. I would go back to the classics. You know. The next one, bad CGI Gator. This was awesome. It didn't take itself serious. It's exactly as it says what it's on the title. I love this. That's why I created one of the characters that's alligator what you see in the review as well. Oh boy, yeah, like, this was fun. This was a really fun, and it was short, and yes, it's exactly what it is, and it's got a little bit gore in too. There is a battle scene between a douchebag who's big-headed and the gator, and it's just a funny scene. I'm not going to spoil it, but I would, if you want just an hour laugh, I would recommend that. It's funny, and I've got the review on the channel as well. My God, I never thought I'd come across this one. Shark Exorcist. This is one of the categories of the worst movies of all time. This was bad, and I think this is the part where I changed my videos into kind of a comic parody reviews, as well. This one, there's no fucking meaning to it. It's bad. It's really bad. The dialogue is bad. Holy hell, Jesus. Again, the review is on the channel. You'll see it. It's one of my best videos I think I reviewed as well. And it was the first time I reviewed a movie like it, and this is why I continue doing and editing the videos the way I do, rather than just sitting in a person just talking about the movie, because it gets boring as is. But yeah, I think this movie really brought out me as a content creator. Let's just say that for this one. And now, Jesus, this one. Okay, a lot of people love this movie. This was based on a true story. It's about teenagers. Basically, there's a mass at school, and they all get pregnant, want to get pregnant at the same time, and the underage. That's all I'm going to tell you. This is bad. It is bad. The dialogue's bad. And if you look at it logical, because this kind of really insults the real life story of what happened when I watched it. The acting is bad in this as well. It is just so bad. Ugh. Horrible. Horrible. And there's some scenes that you're like, oh, what the hell? Why is that in there as well? But it's bad. I don't know why they give it a 4.8. This was bad. Not worse as Shark Exorcist, but I think it was an insult to the real life story, and I think it could have been done a lot more better. This, I think they just wanted to make money out of it. That's what I got from this. Okay, this was the latest review I got up on my channel. This is one of the worst movies in mankind to me. If you know, I give some logical facts about this. It's only been in 4 cities, and then before it got nationwide, they tried to burn the movie. No, this is a true story behind it, because they didn't want worldwide people to see it. So if you don't know, it is a $5 million budget. But the movie itself, it's like $10. Everything's cardboard, paper. The dialogue is so bad. And then when they were trying to reveal who the killer is at the end, yeah. But I'm not going to spoil it. The review is there. I would recommend watching that, because I go out my own way with this movie. And I went in blinded. Yes, I go in blinded with a lot of these movies as well. And so basically it's these 2 students that experiment together to visualize the murderer who's been murdering. And I just leave it there because, and then there's some animation. And I'm not going to spoil it, but if you, again, check out my review. I would highly recommend check my review on these. This is a recap of how I feel all together when everything's all settled down. But this one, I couldn't watch it again. I think this one was basically for prisoners and terrorists. Okay, the next one. Now, Abigail. Now, This one was way overhyped. And the trailers, and they said, oh, it's spoil it with the vampire shit. I think if it didn't show the vampire, it would have looked boring. It would have looked boring. I think what the main parts of people gaslighting about this is showing most of the movie that actually was shown. I didn't watch that. I only watched a 30-second teaser, and I saw her transform into the vampire, start attacking, and that was it. That was it. And I like, you know what? It said coming soon in that teaser trailer. I'm gonna see it, and I have no regrets. I love it. I love the ending. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil the ending, but it was unsuspected. I think it was a nice ending, and it gives more opportunities for Abigail if she wants to be in more movies like this, than rather do the predictable what I think to do. But this one was good. The ballerina scenes was absolutely amazing. She's fantastic. Who is Abigail? Melissa Barrera's in this. She's great. They all great. The only thing that underwhelmed me is they kind of stretched out some scenes that was unnecessary. I mean, this all could be done in an hour and 35 minutes. Really, it could have been. But that's all what I really can, complain about. So, Mr. Barrera. Dan Stevens was okay. William Carrot, I think that was the worst character in this. Kate Newton played wonderfully. I loved it in Freaky. It is the horror. And I enjoyed the Frankenstein which she was in. Kevin Durand, he played, I think, great as well. Now, one of the disappointing ones was Agnes Cloud. I think I was disappointed with a little bit as well, and I think it was good. So, next one, Poor Things. Holy shit, this was totally out the blue. It's actually on Disney Plus. It's actually on Disney Plus. It just says rent or buy, but it's actually on Disney Plus. So basically, she goes I'll just say that because I can't say really the word on YouTube, and eat a brain. I don't want to spoil too much, and there's some scenes in this that just make you like, what the fuck? But it's an understanding of her to understand, because her brain isn't the same as what it was. That's all I'm gonna say. Do I recommend watching it? Yes. But be warned, you could be scarred from it. But I just laughed my ass off. I just kind of laughed my ass off at the end of the day. The performances was great. The camera shots in this was absolutely fantastic. You could see, when you watch it, you could see it was really, really good. Late Night with the Devil. Probably one of the best I've seen from this. People will complain about the AI with the pictures. I say shut the fuck up. Like so, if you don't expect that AI is going to get used in movies, I don't know what to tell you. I understand about artists and stuff like that, but that's for another story. I understand he could have hired asses. Asses. No, artists. Pardon me. Oh, that's a mistake. I gotta put in a blooper. I understand about the whole series though, but this movie was absolutely fantastic. The pacing, like I said, if you don't know, it's basically a live television broadcast in 1977. And he does this show, and he has these guests on, and it goes pretty. I'm not going to spoil it, because I want people to see this. Ignore the AI news and stuff like that. I think it's just people's putting negative because of free images. It's not like they used AI for in the movie, because they didn't. And you know what? The filmmaker was honest. He was honest, and he just told you straight from the bat. And I think that's what people were so butthurt about, because a lot of filmmakers kind of like lie about it and gaslight people. He didn't. He just brutally went out and said, yeah, we use AI for images, free images. And then people start hating on it. And I really think you're not there for the images. You're there for the movie. To watch the movie. This movie was fantastic. It was different. It was unique. I want to see more like this, but not too often. Like so. Challenges. I have a lot to say about this one. I do have a review up on this as well. The trailers made it look like a soft porno. People were drooling and simping, said, oh, I'm going to see a threesome, but, you don't see that. Spoiler! You don't see that. You see something else, and it expands the story. Now, people won't tell you this, even in a non-spoiler, spoiler-free situation, but she's a villain. She's an evil villain in this, and she acts terrific, and if you don't buy into it, you're not understanding the story, I feel, of how it is. She is a villain. The two guys is kind of overly toxic, but everything matches up, and it's an understanding, and because it's about in a tennis match as well, and it takes you back when they were paired up, and when she got in, like, front, she's called Tashai, if I'm saying it right. But karma comes to her because she has an accident with a leg, and you see the bone coming out the leg, which is great, as well, and she can't play anymore, so she plays these mind games, manipulation, she comes off as a narc. She really plays the part, and it makes you buy into it as a villain, and the trailers didn't show this, so applaud the trailers for the clickbait. There's about one, maybe two scenes of sexual scenes, but it's nothing to wow over, because, well, I don't do that in sexual movies, but there's a lot more with strong sexual scenes than this. I'm glad they went with this route, because the trailer, it looked so shit. It looked like a soft porno, and I even told people, if you want to just go on Pornhub, like so. But this movie was great. I think it was a great movie. The ending kind of disappointed me a little bit. I think it did. Itself. But it's understandable how it kind of ended. But I just wish it would say like 5 years later. And then you find out what really happened to all three of them. But it doesn't. But you know what? It's one of those endings that I think you have to figure out yourself. I hope at the end of the day, spoiler alert here, I'm hoping the two guys get together. Whew. Last movie, Baby Reindeer. Holy shit. Probably one of the best series I watched on Netflix in a long time. It's a basic kind of a true story to me, because I think it is. Some people saying it is, some people are saying it isn't. So it's about a guy that basically works at the bar, and he just buys her. Well, doesn't really buy her. Just gets her a cup of coffee or tea or something first for free. She says she's a lawyer, but then he finally clicks on that she's lying, because why would she be lying? Why would she not buy a drink if she's a lawyer? So he tries to investigate a little bit more, and she gets kind of... Well, no, he doesn't really investigate first. She gets obsessive, possessive, just mentally, like, disturbing, stalks him, stuff like that, makes a mockery out of him. And there is one episode that it warned you, if you're disturbed by any reactions, please call this line. And it is a really bad scene, disturbing scene, dark scene about him, how he came to this about, and he's so confused, as well. It makes the travel worthy. If you manage to watch through that, congrats. This was a fantastic. Richard Gere was fantastic. Jessica Gunning was a fantastic evil stalker, and it came about that, I will recommend watching it. It's on Netflix, and I would really, really recommend watching it as well. Without no spoilers, the ending, if you click on, it just makes you chuckle and go, you know what? Let's just leave it to there, because people's wanting a series too. Fuck off. No. Let this be. Don't spoil it. It is great how this series is. I think it's a great just to watch back, because you can watch this back too. It's a repeatable thing down the line, I think, and I think it's going to stay on Netflix for a very, very long time. So guys, that's some of the movies I have watched. A lot of the reviews are on my channel about it. If you like this video and you like me recapping on what I've watched last month, or do this every month, let me know. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all